A cold attendance for a hot rivalry. The ticket lines are short for this Mizzou tradition.
Reaching for help, 1 in 10 mid-Missourians may need the treatment.
Driving 101. Teens are buckling up before they hit the road. KOMU 8 News at 10 starts right now.
From Studio 8A, coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU 8 News at 10.
Many of Missouri's domestic violence laws date back 30 years. Good evening, I'm Alex Rozier in for Jim Reed.
And I'm Angie Bailey. Thanks for joining us now that the Attorney General wants to make some changes. KOMU 8's Olivia Wilson is live in the studio with more on this proposal. Olivia?
Well, Angie, the task force will begin re-examining the laws next week. Now, Attorney General Chris Koster says he wants to make sure all the domestic violence laws protect victims through law enforcement and the legal systems. Lawmakers have made some changes in recent years, but now they want to review all the current laws. One of those spells out who can get relief from domestic violence. Now, the law says any adult defined as a person 18 years of age or older or otherwise emancipated can get relief. This person is called the petitioner. A law like this is just something the task force will review for changes. And one volunteer at a women's shelter in Moberly says people need to be more aware of victims' rights, but she wasn't aware of what laws might need to be revised. The task force meets in St. Louis next Tuesday and will also meet in Columbia and Kansas City. After that, it will issue a report on possible recommendations to the state legislator.
It's been a pretty nice day with some cloud cover, cooler temperatures, and some much-needed rainfall. Right now on Live Doppler 8 First Alert Radar, forecast coming up on KOMU 8 News at 10.
You know you will. Thanks, Dave.
A new center in Columbia is reaching out to people dealing with substance abuse. It coincides with Recovery Month that's recognized across the country. KOMU 8's Cynthia Yang shows us how the center plans to make sure people get the treatment they need.
For more than 35 years, the Phoenix Programs Incorporated logo has been a symbol of support and hope. Cynthia Yang, KOMU 8 News, Columbia.
Along with Columbia, there are events recognizing September as Recovery Month across Missouri, including in Jefferson City, Rolla, and Kansas City.
The slogan goes, click it or ticket, and one group of Missouri drivers seems to be listening. KOMU 8's Kimberly St. Ange is live in Columbia. So, Kimberly, one group seems to be doing a better job of buckling up.
That's right. A new survey by MoDOT reports more Missouri teens are buckling up. Teen seatbelt use rose from 61% to 66% this year. Now, police conducted a sobriety checkpoint here to my left on Old Plank Road, and we're checking for seatbelt use. Now, they did not give any tickets, but did give several warnings. The statewide average is 77%. That's slightly down from last year. Now, MoDOT says some reasons why Missouri drivers may not be buckling up is because Missouri does not have a primary safety belt law. This law prevents police officers from stopping vehicles solely for lack of seatbelt use. Police can only issue tickets for not wearing seatbelts when they stop the vehicle for another reason, like a failure to stop or running a speed light. I talked with an MU student today who says he always wears his seatbelt.
I think seatbelts are great. I think they do save a lot of lives. My sister just got into a car accident, and she did come out with some injuries, but I think it did save her life.
MoDOT is holding a Battle of the Belt competition to try to encourage high school students to buckle up. If you want more information about the contest, visit our links and numbers section on KOMU.com. Reporting live in Columbia, Kimberly St. Ange, KOMU 8 News.
Thanks, Kimberly. Well, MU's starting running back is no longer even on the Tigers roster. The University Athletic Department booted senior Derek Washington off the team today. On Monday, Boone County prosecutors charged Washington with a Class C felony for sexual assault. The charge followed an incident back in June involving a female MU student.
Despite the recent arrests and bad news plaguing MU football, Mizzou fans of all ages gathered tonight to cheer in a new season. Truman the Tiger and MC Gary Link led a crowd in a spirit rally held at the Columbia Mall. They were joined by Mizzou Golden Girls, cheerleaders, marching Mizzou, and athletes. One second-generation fan said she came to join in cheers before hitting the road to St. Louis to see the Tigers take on Illinois.
Oh, I love Mizzou. I'm a diehard fan ever since I was a little girl. It's 11 of us, and my dad used to bring us to the games all the time. So whether Mizzou win or lose, we there. And we on our way to St. Louis to the first game. We wouldn't miss it for the world.
That's right, one thing she sure won't miss, the last game between Missouri and Illinois in the arch rivalry series. It's a Tiger Labor Day tradition in St. Louis that ends this year. KOMU 8's Parker Lapine explains what this means for mid-Missouri.
Both MU and Illinois fans mark Labor Day weekend as the start of college football. Parker Lapine, KOMU 8 News, Columbia.
And there is no word yet on if or when the two schools will renew their series on the football field.
A group of partners is making a big effort to bring federal money to Missouri in order to bring high-speed broadband internet to the entire state. Governor Jay Nixon led the Mo Broadband Now initiative, which will reportedly allow more than 95% of Missouri to have high-speed broadband internet access. The project started last summer under the 2009 American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. The governor's office explains the improved internet will help Missourians in a variety of ways.
It's important to remember that the benefits of broadband go way beyond reaching the consumer. They include education, they include health care, they include commerce.
The Mo Broadband Now project has already gotten more than $134 million in contributions.
Fans of Mexico's runaway goat held a rally today following the animal's capture. People came to photograph the goat and make donations to the Mexico Animal Shelter. The goat evaded Mexico Animal Control for 11 days before a local roper lassoed him yesterday. People nicknamed the goat Billy Goat Gruff, and he became an internet celebrity in Mexico and beyond. Billy has a Facebook page with almost 10,000 fans, but the man who caught him isn't quite as popular.
I thought I was doing the right thing. There's a lot of people mad at me.
Beachy says he didn't want to get the goat to get out into the road and cause any accidents. Someone did start a Facebook page for Beachy this afternoon. He's still behind Billy's 10,000 fans, but he's hit double digits with 12.
12. Wow. On a more serious note, bloodshed in a hostage situation, but victims are safe from the Discovery Channel siege.
Farmers could lose 2 types of grain. A costly foe is sweeping the Midwest.
Violence erupts in Israel as world leaders gather for peace talks.
And police take down an armed and dangerous man at the Discovery Channel network. KOMU 8's Emily Spain has your Worldview report.
After 3 hours of negotiation, police killed the armed man who held 3 people hostage inside the Discovery Channel Network's headquarters in Silver Spring, Maryland. A Discovery spokesman identified the gunman as 43-year-old James J. Lee. Police say Lee was upset about the network's programming. Around 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Lee entered the main entrance of the building waving a handgun and with explosives strapped to his body. All 3 hostages are safe. Leaders of several Muslim organizations gathered at New York City's City Hall today, demanding an end to religious intolerance. They also defended the plans to build an Islamic community center near Ground Zero. Supporters, including U.S. Representative Charles Rangel, joined this group of more than 50 leaders. They say the notion that Muslims shouldn't gather or pray near the 9/11 site is unethical, insensitive, and inhumane. And finally, after the slaying of 4 Israelis, Jewish settlers in the West Bank are retaliating. Settlers resumed construction of a building that lies on disputed land between Palestine and Israel. The Hamas rebel group claimed responsibility for the murders that took place on the eve of Israeli-Palestine peace talks. Hamas called Palestine's leader a traitor for talking settlement issues with Israel. Leaders from both states are meeting with President Obama tomorrow in the U.S. And that's your look around the world.
There's a cold front out there, and it could produce some thunderstorms by tomorrow evening. But the good news is, on the other side of it, some really nice weather. That's next on KOMU 8 News at 10.
Now, your live Doppler 8 First Alert weather with Chief Weathercaster Dave Schmidt.
Good evening to you. It's just about 10:15. There's our First Alert weather cam over Columbia Regional Airport by the 15th of this month.
Thanks, Dave.
You're welcome.
A new trend and a new way to relax, what some tones and beats could do to your teen.
And a look at your lottery numbers tonight. Good luck.
It's a new trend around the country you might want to keep an eye out for. People are using what they hear in their headphones to get high the same way some would drugs. It's called eye-dosing. Mostly young people around the country are downloading an audio tone from their MP3 players to get the same feeling as a physical drug can cause. The tones are called binaural beats, which works by stimulating the brain the same way chemical drugs do.
Once a part of the nervous system gets activated, what activates it doesn't matter. Once it's activated, then the perceptions or the experiences proceed.
Eye-dosing has become a YouTube sensation, but so far Columbia and Jefferson City school officials say they haven't had any reports of it happening around here.
The Thousand Cankers disease, or TCD, is starting to ravage black walnut trees across the Midwest. The barnacle family grows more than 500 black walnut trees, and even though TCD hasn't hit the state yet, officials say if it does, it could mean major losses, more than $850 million, because the growers won't be able to sell timber and nuts. The Department of Conservation says there are measures people can take to avoid the spread.
The best way to prevent the spread of any forest disease is to not move firewood, regardless of species, and to not even move it within the state.
The barnacle family intends to continue selling black walnut products. They do not expect to see the disease affect their 150-acre farm. Missouri has won the last 5 arch rivalry games. Hear what Illinois has to say about facing the Tigers this season.
Now, from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU 8 Sports with Chris Gervino.
Hello, everyone. That is sports. Let's go back now to Angie and Alex. It's the A team on this night at the news desk.
Alex,
You
I like
got
it.
that right,
True
Chris.
story. Thanks a lot, Chris. It's a fiery fiesta, I'll go,
You can
for
go ahead.
friends and neighbors.
And the party is really heating up. This is KOMU 8 News at 10. Coverage you can count on.
Welcome back. Let's have another look at our live Doppler 8 First Alert 8-day forecast. And the highlight of this particular forecast is the Labor Day holiday weekend. Take a look Friday, Saturday. High temperatures mid to upper 70s. Slightly warmer Sunday and Monday.
Not how you typically celebrate, but some folks in El Salvador commemorated the anniversary of a volcanic eruption by throwing great balls of fire at each other. Every year, in fact, young men celebrate this fiery festival with flames and fun, supposedly. Despite what looks to be pretty dangerous, officials say there usually aren't many injuries reported. The festival commemorates a 1922 eruption that forced the townspeople to evacuate. It's always fun until someone throws a ball of fire at you.
Remember, you can log on if you missed any stories tonight on our website, KOMU.com. All of the news, sports, and weather all the time.
Remember, KOMU 8 News is with you even when you're not watching television. It can be online anytime. KOMU.com. Thanks for joining us.